So this morning at about 9:28 a.m., public safety responded to this residence, 127 Avenue V Northwest in Winter Haven, in reference to a subject that lives at the house coming home this morning and finding two deceased people inside the house. Officers and fire department responded. We went into the house, tried to render aid, and it was obvious that the subjects had been deceased. At that point in time, we backed out, secured the crime scene, and it became an active investigation for suspicious deaths at this point in time. I can say that the two that were inside were female. I do not have any positive identifications at this point in time. There are family members that are speculating. We cannot, at this point in time, identify who they are, and we will release that as soon as we're able to do positive identification, and of course notifying the families who are anxiously waiting to get confirmation whether it's their loved one or not. At this point in time, I can't give you any details as far as mode of death, anything like that. It's just an active investigation. It's still very early stages, even though this started earlier this morning. It's very early stages for us. We are chasing leads from talking with folks in the neighborhood, just following up on those leads. We will continue to do that, and as the crime scene finishes up, that's when we'll be able to actually get a little better detail as far as what we need to be chasing and what's happening, and we'll release more information. I would like to say that there are two families that will obviously be grieving, and our thoughts and prayers from the Winter Haven Police Department and the Fire Department, Public Safety, are with those families, because that's not easy to lose a loved one.
Chief, can you tell us a little bit about the suspect? Who are you looking for in connection with this?
At this point in time, we don't have any real suspects. We're interviewing people that might have had problems with the potential victims in there. Anybody that had been seen hanging around the house recently, anyone that just anything that anybody can give us. In fact, I want to go on record here and say too, please, if anyone has any information, no matter what you may or may not think how important it was that you saw, if you were by here last night or anything over the past 24 hours, please reach out to us and our detectives and let us know. Give us information, because we're going to need some help from the public to really tie this thing together.
Any idea, random act, or is this was something personal?
At this point in time, we don't believe that there's any threat to any other members right now in our area, but that I can't say that for sure.
Now, you guys are still looking for whoever's responsible for this.
That's correct.
And now, earlier it
it is very suspicious, and yeah, yes.
Any idea of when this may have happened? Since you found it at 9:30 this morning, could this have happened overnight or sometime?
Based on the timeline of another person that lives at the house, 11 o'clock was last night was when they were last seen. So we believe the timeline was between obviously 11 and 9:30 this morning.
And we had heard that maybe a family member was the one that initially found them and called 911. Is that something that you guys can confirm or speak on?
In that regard, it's hard to say, because we have to identify. We're having trouble identifying the victims at this point in time.
Do you believe the victims are known to whoever committed this crime?
That would be speculation if I went into that, so I don't really want to comment on that.
Can you give us a sense of the kind of scene that you're dealing with in there? What kind of things you're trying to collect, and how the challenge of this investigation?
Well, any homicide investigation deals with a lot of forensics, and your initial response to a crime scene and handling that crime scene, you get one shot at a crime scene really before you release it, and once you release it, you're done. So meticulous, going through every detail. As you can see, that we have our crime scene investigators here, as well as Polk County Sheriff's Office. That's how serious we are taking this crime scene and wanting to make sure that we cross all the cross all the T's and dot all the I's, to make sure that we get this right, so that we can bring closure to the families when we get to that point.
Anything specific you want people watching and residents to know, and that any concern that they need to have, and anything you need them to know as this investigation continues?
Right now, again, we don't feel that there's any threat to anyone else right now. What I would like to do is, again, just ask for anyone's help. If someone was in the park last night and heard something or saw something, that's what can help us. I know that people frequent this park at all different hours of the night.
Oh, no, that sounded kind of...
And yeah, we're a little gun shy after a couple weeks ago that happening to us, but I think it was a backfire. But anybody that might have seen something or heard something, to please reach out to us, because that's what we need. We need the public's help in this.
And as you guys are here and you're investigating this awful crime, what's going through your head as you do this?
What goes through my head is, number one, finding the person that's responsible, and then number two is the families, and making sure that we help bring closure for them, and that we also are able to bring closure for the community as well.
And that has to be
Really, and the folks that have to work these scenes and all are emotionally. So it's important to remember that as well for the first responders.
And that has to be something that, I mean, I know you guys are very motivated all the time to solve these crimes, but having these dozens and dozens of friends and family members out here, standing here for hours waiting, I mean, that has to be, you want to bring them answers.
Absolutely. Literally, some of them have been on scene waiting for us to be able to identify if that's one of their loved ones or not for, 8 hours now. So, yeah, that's absolutely the most important thing that we're really concentrating on, is because they deserve that. They deserve some closure, and then the next steps of us making sure that we get the person or persons that are responsible for what we're dealing with.
Searching anywhere at this point outside of this scene here now?
I can't comment on that right now. We are chasing leads, which is normal in an investigation where we're any suspicious death investigation. We chase any lead down possible, and absolutely anything we're looking at. So there is no specific thing that we're looking at. That's why I ask if anybody saw anything, even if they thought it was insignificant. It may not be insignificant. It could be the thing that helps us the most to solve what happened.
Got a long day ahead of you.
Got a long, so yes, we do.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much,
Thanks,
Chief.
Chief.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And
Charlie Bird.
thank you all very much.